Hello YouTube, welcome to RV Daydream. We did a review on this before, but I did it as an integration on one of my videos, and I should have done more about it.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
This thing has been awesome. We've had this now for over a year, and I've used it so much. It's amazing. We were doing some house hunting whenever we first got to Ohio, and we had this flashlight, and I remember going into a couple of the rooms and just boom, this thing lights it up. It's incredible. And the company is Olight. So whenever they reached out to me the first time, I thought, all right, it's a flashlight. I can't do a whole video on a flashlight. It just doesn't seem right. And I had no idea what I was going to get. So they sent me this, and I did my integration just like I planned, and I was really impressed with it. So, of course, even though that video was so short, I'll put links in this video for everything I talk about. But I wanted to not so much go over this again, which is very, very good. Probably the best flashlight I've ever owned. No fibbing, no exaggerating. This is my go-to now, except for when I'm working on my cars, because I don't want to damage this. I really don't want to hurt it. And it's pretty rugged. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's rugged. It has some sort of defensive thing on the front here for, you know, one of these numbers. And I mean, it's rugged, but you know, whenever you got something that's really nice, just because you have a truck that can go off-road and jump, you know, big hills, doesn't mean you necessarily want to do it because you don't want to break it. So, whenever they contacted me again and said, hey, we have new product that's coming out, and we would like you to be an early viewer of this and tell us what you think. Well, I'm not technically allowed to talk about it until now when you're watching this video, but I'm actually shooting this video prior to the date that it can be released. So they sent me, I think, 3 different products, and this is like a raw opening and just checking it out. And yeah, let me do that. Let me do just that. So we'll go ahead and open it up. It's got a pull tab here for the box. It came with just a couple days, which I was surprised. Okay, and they do have a few things in here. All right, well, first of all, this thing, I don't even know what it's called. I can't remember, but here's a little baton. Check that out. And first of all, the packaging on this stuff, I remember being really nice. The boxes are nice. Cool. It says read me. It says you got to unscrew it. There's an insulating film inside here for the battery, and then you're supposed to charge it. Oh, and guess what? The charger's just like this one. That's one of the features I liked. It's a magnetic charger. You just flop the thing on it, plug it into a USB, and it just sticks on there and it starts charging it. That's what this one is. So let's look at it. I guess, right? It's got a yellow film on the lens for protection. We'll take that off. It's got a single LED in it. It has a really beautiful crystal clear lens here, and then it has that magnetic charging. So let's go ahead and do what they say. So you got to unscrew it, and there is the insulator. Okay, I get it. It's on top and bottom, and then you would put it back together. Now I'm assuming that there's some charge in the battery, but they want you to charge it. I get it. I know why. Oh, nice. It's got tiny LEDs that light up. I don't know if you can see those. It probably don't come out very well. Now, just to let you know, we will be doing this, you know, shooting it at night outside and showing you what it looks like. Man, that's cool. Look, I know that's not coming across very well, but it's very clear. It's a really clear lens. Man, this is kind of cool. So I can't wait to see what that's like at night. But again, this is like it's a baton. I think it's called a torch. Yeah, I'm sorry, turbo. That's it. Baton turbo. So the next one is supposed to be a really, I don't even know what to think about this next one. This is supposed to be like some sort of different themes that you can purchase. This one's called the Olight Arc Field. And it's a portable, everyday carry flashlight. That's what EDC stands for. with 3 light sources. Wow, okay. This product ships in lockout mode. Before first use, press and hold the button about 1 second till the flashlight turns on, and the flashlight will be unlocked. So this is like a little remote control. It's more like, I'll tell you what it's like, a butterfly knife. As far as the belt clip and everything, that's what it kind of reminds me of. And yeah. Now we'll get a closer look of all this stuff. I just wanted to get it out of the packaging first. Let's go ahead and hold this down for 1 second like it says. Okay, so you've got a flashlight. Now the other thing that you have on this is where this thing gets really cool. You have a laser. Let me see if I can get it on the lens. I don't know if this will hurt the camera, but we're going to try it out so you guys can see. I'm losing it when I go up the pole here. Here we go. Ready? Right there. Cool, huh? Probably screwed up the sensor in my camera. Cool, very cool. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Don't want to hurt anybody's eyes. And then you have finally one that's a UV light. So you can check, if you go to a hotel or something, you could check for, you know, the bad stuff. The UV light. I don't know. These people think of the craziest stuff. Again, we'll get a closer look on both of these. Finally, now this one's not a flashlight at all. But again, you're looking at something that they offer. And it's called the Olight Sphere. Colorful light ball with a transparent shell. Looks like that there's some sort of a pull tab here that allows me to open it. Yeah. I want you to kind of pay attention to the packaging, because as a gift, this would be perfect. Before first use, charge to unlock the product. Please fully charge the product. And guess how you charge it? The exact same way. Now, that has a nice styrofoam sleeve on it for protection. And this is a tiny little sphere. And it is in a clear ball. Okay, we got to get closer for these things. Okay, so I'm going to give you a closer look of the one that we've had for a while now. And its functions are pretty basic. You've got this switch here will go from flood to spot. And then this button here, you would rotate. There's all kinds of LEDs that show up when you do this. When you rotate this, it will put you at the different brightnesses. And you can dial it in then using that same knob like this is. And the thing is, it's got a little vibration thing. I don't know if you can hear this. So there's a little vibrator in there that lets you know that you've bottomed it out. And you know, you turn it up all the way and it does it again. Again, just to let you know, hey, don't turn it anymore. You're already there. And then the spotlight, of course, the same thing. It just turns on a different light. And then there's strobe lights and stuff like that. Changing colors. I think there's a green one, blue. And of course you could do different brightnesses. I mean, it's not, you know, same thing. And then back to where we were before. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Oh, sorry. Guess I want to go through all the lights again, huh? And whatever your last setting was is what it remembers. So again, we love this one because of the charging, how heavy it is, how long it lasts, and it's very, very good. So let's go to this new one that they've released, this Baton Turbo. And it is awesome. I'm telling you. Now they got little indicators on here. One says it's a light indicator. The other one is a battery indicator. And it's going to come out on camera kind of difficult, I'm sure. But there's some lights that light up there. And depending on what you do, like, you know, with the button, it changes what kind of light. Now right now this is called the moonlight. If I hold it, it'll change. You can see the different low, medium, high, that kind of thing. If I wanted to, let's leave it on high, but I'll double click it. And that's turbo. And that's just flood crazy. The other thing you can do with just that simple light, of course, a strobe. Everybody loves the strobe. But let you know, this one has an IPX8 rating, which is pretty darn good. It can handle a drop from, I think it's 1.5 meters. I'm not going to do that because I like these flashlights. It does have a tether. I'm kind of in between. I don't know if I want to use the clip or the tether. You can remove the clip if you don't like it. Again, I'm not sure how I feel about that quite yet. And the instructions are very clear. They're all drawn out for you. Tells you what happens, you know, 1 button push, 2 button push, long hold, all that stuff. And in this case, it tells you also what the level of indicators mean for each one of these LEDs that are on the flashlight. Again, this is the Baton Turbo. The links will be down below for this. I'm very excited about this one. It's very cool. Very, very cool. So now we go into the Olight Arc Field Pro. And again, there are different themes that you can purchase here. This is some sort of paw theme, I believe. I can't remember, pet theme. You can see what it looks like. Again, the size to me reminds me of a large, like butterfly knife, or maybe a Leatherman, I guess, but it's not near that heavy. And you have different functions here where you can flip to the light, the white light, your laser, or your UV light. Now I'll go over the UV light first. There's nothing special about it other than you get a UV light that works. You turn it on, you turn it off. That's all there is to it. UV light, period. Okay. When you do any of these functions, it'll tell you how many, you know, what the battery lifetime is here. And this one shows 3 bars. And of course, that's shown in the instructions of what 3 bars actually means as far as time. Go through the instructions. They're very, very thorough. And as far as this one, this has an IPX7 rating. So it can handle a little bit. As far as a drop, I don't know. It says 1 meter. Just try not to drop it. It's a extruded aluminum case of some kind. So I mean, it feels beefy. It doesn't feel light or cheap. I mean, it feels solid. It's just one of those things. I don't know if you want to drop your flashlight. Now, as far as the laser, we flip to that mode there. And again, you just turn it on. You hold the button and it's on. Now, I don't want to point it at the camera. I'll try to see if you can see it. Yeah, I guess you guys can see it without me pointing it to the camera now, right? I just don't want the camera sensor to get hit again. We'll go, that's about as close as I want to get. I'm not sure why you'd want to do it, but you can turn on your white light at the same time as the laser. Just double click while you've got the laser on, and I still have the laser pointer going. Again, I don't know what that would be, what the function would be for, but it's there. And now the flashlight itself, let's go ahead and turn off the laser. And any of these, if you have it on, let's say UV mode, we'll turn on UV mode, and I'm like, nope, I'm at the laser. You don't have to do any button pushing, just flip the lever. And you'll see I'll go from the UV, it now went to the laser, and then I can go to the white light. I don't have to double click or anything. And the same here, you can get different brightnesses based on how many times that you push it and how long you push it. Let's hold it and you'll see the different, those are the different settings: light, medium, bright, light, medium, high, I could say, low, high, medium, low, medium, high, low, medium, high. I see what they're trying to do with this. They're trying to make this user-friendly, something different, something more unique. I could see where if you bought a whole bunch of these and all the different editions that they offer, and I think they offer them just plain, too. They don't, have all this print-on stuff on them. That I could see setting up at a swap meet or a flea market or yard sale or something like that, and that would make sense to me. Really would. It's one of those things that you could sell a ton of these if you're into that. That's not my thing. That's not my thing at all. Really nice, nice belt clip. Women, for sure. I could see this be something that's nice in your purse. It's just cool. They're very, very cool. And again, it has that auto shut-off function. I would say that this is kid-friendly, but the fact that it's got a laser on there, probably not. That would ruin their eyesight instantly, and you don't want that. So, and that pointer, it could be, pet-wise, play with your cat. Again, I'm not a cat person, but I see people doing that. And they give you this, obviously. This is a badge that says support life's biggest supporters. It's got a picture of a dog and a cat on it. And again, it's a pin for your lapel or whatever. And the best part, I think, is the magnetic charger. These magnetic chargers, they're all pretty much the same. And you can see where you just plug it into your USB and then, whoops, go here. That's it. It starts charging then. I think that's great. I mean, it can be in any direction. You don't have to worry about a plug wearing out necessarily. It's, you know, it's the way things should be. Okay, so here's the one of the coolest ones. And this is not a flashlight. But what this is a mood light. And I could see where if you got a bunch of these, it would be really cool to have them in different rooms. The base is magnetic. It's reminds me of, I remember a few years back, my kids had this thing that was called an eyeball. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was a fluid that was in there. And when you turned it, the eyeball would rotate inside because it was weighted. But in this case, it's just a sphere that's in this plastic housing with a little, looks like a metal aluminum ring that goes around the outside. And then it has the magnets on the bottom. Of course, this is for the same, as I always say, this is for the same magnetic charge. You know, you can just charge it up that way. This is also a button, which if it's on a hard surface, you can just push the top and it should turn it on, or you can turn it over. Now, this magnetic base allows you to mount it if you want. They give you, I mean, how cool is this? They give you this magnetic, it looks like a coin. It says Olight on it. It's really nice. And it's got a 3M adhesive back on there. And of course, that being magnetic, you can actually mount this somewhere. So it's not just something sitting on an end table, like if you want to put it, you know, up on the ceiling or something like that. Now, the cool part about this is it has an app. So we'll try to turn this around. I don't think you're going to see very much on this app, just because of glare and everything else. But touching the bottom of the light, you can see that it's on. You can change the light on it, right? Of course, that makes sense. You can change the color, brighter, dimmer. There's a way that you can make it, it says music rhythm. Obviously, it would react to music. We'll go back to the white light. You can choose pretty much any color. I mean, whatever you want it to be. So I really like that. I think that's really cool. We have smart light bulbs throughout our house that can do this. So I find it kind of cool that it's such a small rechargeable device that you might be able to do this, you know, in an environment that you're not plugged in all the time. It says that I have 40 hours at 1% with the light that I'm running at right now. And this changes. This will change whenever I change the light. So I bumped it up. It's at 52%. It says, oh, you're only going to run 19 hours at this point. And if I go all the way up, it's going to up 4 hours. You can only do 4 hours. So it's kind of cool. There's some other things that you can do here. You can make it appear differently. It doesn't have to be all one. Here's a blue sky setting. Here's butterfly. You can see it's moving around. It's changing colors. I think it's really awesome that they've got this thing set up to be, you know, creative. Now, I can tell you right now that my grandson, who's only 5 years old, would be fascinated with this, just totally fascinated with it. And he does have a tablet, and he knows how to operate apps and stuff like that. But for the most part, again, this is kind of one of those things that I would see having in multiple rooms and being able to just click it on to give you, you know, a mood, you know, because if you're in the dark, this will show up quite a bit in pitch dark. So again, I think it's kind of cool that they've got a way to put all of their technology that they have from their flashlights into this thing and go into a different direction. I mean, who would have thought? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and charge up all these flashlights, or these 2 flashlights till they're full. Maybe, you know what, maybe I'll charge this one up, which I think it's kind of full already. And then we're going to go to nighttime and see what they look like, because I really, this one's the one that I'm really probably the most impressed with so far. This one is really cool. It's got so many different weird features in that. And I guess I could say that I'm impressed with that too. But yeah, this whole lineup's awesome. All right, so we're back in action, and it's much later at night. I have a lot of ambient light going on here, so hopefully we can give you some references as far as how bright this stuff is, and then you could see what these flashlights do. So I'm standing in the middle of my backyard looking to our fence, and from where I'm standing to the fence is probably about, I'm gonna say 35 yards. That's pretty close. Now, there's a few things that I want you to recognize. I'm gonna move over a little bit, and this should give you good light reference as far as what we're looking at. So, up in the sky is a moon that is 3/4 full. So you can see that. On the back fence, you can see that there's 4 lights that are in a line there. It's kind of hard to point them out, obviously, because of how dark it is. Those are solar lights. They're just low-powered solar lights. Just above the one all the way to the left, out of the 4 that are in a line, is a street light that is very dim, that's on the next street over. That's basically where our backyard ends, on the other side of the fence. And then the brightest light that's lighting up most of this place is the one that's right here. This is our security light. Now, to give you some idea of what other light you might be seeing, this slow, nice amber glow over there, that is from a fire that we had earlier, and that is the remains of the fire. There's some burning that's going on there, but it's very, very dim. Again, the links will be down below for all these, so I'll reference what you're looking at. So the first thing I want to do is do the laser pointer on the arc field, okay? And that's the one that I said kind of looks like a switchblade, that has different themes that you can purchase, you know, different editions of these flashlights. So let's go ahead and try the laser beam first. Ready? Look at that. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on camera. I'm going to have to pull the camera up myself so I can tell if you guys can see this, because it's kind of cool. Yeah, you can see, look at, I can point out those solar lights that I was talking about with that laser beam. It is so bright. It is really, really bright. So we'll just bring it up in the ground here. Yeah, you can see it here. I'll move it side to side. How cool is that? All right. Now the UV light, of course, is meant for close quarters. And you can see down here on the ground, maybe this illuminated spot. This is for use like in hotel rooms or, you know, checking out what's in the bed sheets. So this isn't a light that you're supposed to be able to really use for anything but checking that kind of stuff. All right, so now let's go to the actual flashlight. So let's go to the lightest setting here. And the lightest setting, you can see, just kind of lights up the general area here. Not overly bright, but it does a good job. Let's go ahead and go to the next brightness. Pretty bright. This is not bad, right? As far as illuminating that fence, it does a little bit, but not very much. This is kind of a close quarters. Let me see if we got one more brightness level here. There you go. Now this is definitely lighting up the yard. This is illuminating the fence more than what the camera's picking up, and it is illuminating everything really close, and it's coming from this little tiny flashlight, which I'm amazed by. It's not the smallest one out of the group, but it is a very compact, easy to carry flashlight, and it is lighting this area up very well. That is really cool. You can see the shed, you can see everything that you want. All right, let's go back to the more dim. Yep, there we go. Again, this will make the light last a lot longer, but it just illuminates a little bit closer. Okay, so that's the arc field. So the next one that we have, like I said, that they're just coming out with is the Baton Turbo, okay? and that's the one that has the little LEDs on it that shows you what the battery level is and the brightness and everything. So let's go ahead and turn that on. Now this is the absolute lowest setting. This is a what they call the moonlight setting, and I guess it does kind of imitate moonlight. There's a halo that is not showing up on camera that is a little bit greater in diameter than that spotlight that is really showing up on camera. If you have it on this setting, they're talking about that this will last a long time, and I can illuminate the back fence. Again, I don't think this is necessarily coming out on camera, but I can illuminate the back fence and I can see the back fence with this moonlight setting. So let's go ahead and go to the next brightness. Okay, this is a medium setting. The area is being more illuminated, and you can see the spotlight and then the area light that surrounds that. So again, very, very illuminating considering how small this thing is, right? And again, the back fence, you can easily see the back fence, right? I mean, it's very clear that it's lighting it up back there. Okay, again, this is the Baton Turbo, the little tiny Baton Turbo. Now we'll go ahead and go to the next setting. Now this is what they call high. This is a high setting. Again, you can see the spotlight, and then you can see the area light that surrounds the spotlight, and I am lighting up that back fence like nobody's business. Let's go ahead and shine over to the shed. You can see the shed. You can see all across here, right? This is a crazy bright flashlight for how small it is. Now we've got one more setting. This is turbo, and that is unbelievable. This flashlight is so tiny. It is about the size of about almost a full roll of quarters, and it is bright. I am shining. Look, you can see the tree line. Wow, is this bright. And this is a tiny little flashlight. This thing is tiny. I cannot believe how bright this is. It's lighting up the whole backyard, and it's the tiniest flashlight I've ever seen do this kind of work. I mean, just incredible. So that's the Baton Turbo. Man, that is awesome. Okay, we'll go ahead and go to the Mini Marauder so you can see what that thing does. So we'll go ahead and turn it on. This is the lowest setting on spotlight. You can see, right? Or flashlight, whatever you want to call it. It's just the basic mode. And you can see it all along the fence line, no problem. Again, this is the lowest setting that you can get with the most focused beam. We can see out on the tree line a little bit. Not showing up on camera very well, but if I go ahead and just bump it up, we'll go ahead and turn it up now. Again, this is just the spotlight portion of it. Very bright, very focused. You can really see everything that you need to in a focused beam. And let's go ahead and shine it up on the trees. You can see up in the trees there easily. Those are on the other side of the street from the house here. So we have about another 40 yards on the other side of this fence, and then a street, and then that tree line, which is back about 15 feet off of the road. So we're quite a ways away. I mean, this is like the length of a football field to those trees over there. Very, very cool. All right, so here's the best part. We'll go ahead and turn this back down again to a low setting, and I'm going to put it on the wide spread. And this is the kind of beam that I like to see whenever I'm looking for stuff, and I want to simulate daylight. Let's just say that. So I've got it on the lowest setting. You can see that it's illuminating the backyard pretty good. I can see it on the fence slightly, but that's not what this is meant for. This is meant to flood the area with light. Ready? Now that's what the Mini Marauder does. That thing is wicked. This is why Olight has been one of my favorite flashlights, because of how bright this thing just illuminates the entire area. I mean, you can see everything. I mean, I can see that tree back there. Not coming out on camera so much, but I'm illuminating the tree, the whole tree. So when you're looking for something, this is the light you want to have. And of course the camera's adjusting for some of this light, so it's kind of unfair to use that as a judge. If you want your own Olight, please reach out, use the links in the description. There may be a discount code down there, I'm not sure, but man, I'm gonna tell you that these are probably the best quality flashlights that you probably never heard of. So again, down in the description, there's gonna be some links. Use those links, take you right to them. And as always, guys, we hope to see you out there.